Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Beowulf back at with another video. Now, I've seen a lot of people in the comments want to see a video about this, so I'm finally putting it together. So I got my 2018 RXP X 300, RXT X 300, both my Sea Doos, and I want to show you guys what to do after riding. So I've been riding 4 days straight. So this one was in the ocean yesterday, so I'm going to show you guys the step-by-step of what you have to do after riding maintenance, what you have to do. So there's like, you got to start them up to run them through the water, running through it, and then I'm going to show you guys how I take care of, like, there's getting salt if there's inside the engine bay, what kind of cleaning products I use. I have this very low pressure portable pressure washer I use. The other stuff I use too after riding is in my garage. I have a dehumidifier. It's really humid out here, so when the garage is shut, it'll grab all the water, and then I have it with a hose because it kind of dips. My garage has a little, like with the concrete, it dips, so I just have it where it runs the water down. So I continuously let this thing run, not right now, but any time after I ride them. So it just grabs the moisture that's in the air, so it's not as humid in here. And then also too, I have this fan, so what I'll do is like open up either one of these, so when you're washing them, it'll help run a fan in there too that'll help dry out stuff besides the dehumidifier. So let me get this thing all pulled out of the garage, and I will show you guys what cleaning products I use and what there all is with doing it. Alright, so the biggest thing you want to make sure is before you start these up, there's this nozzle right here that hooks on there. Now you don't want to hook and run water in these before starting them up. You first start them up and then do it. Now on the RXP X, to get to that, you actually have to unhook, loosen the toe strap here, the tie down strap. Otherwise you will not be able to fit on there. So I'm gonna get this all hooked up and fire these up so you guys can hear what they sound like, and then show you this is what you have to do after maintenance. These all have closed loop cooling, so that's where you're running this. And you only should let them run for like a couple of minutes, maybe 1-2 minutes. I've already done them last night, so I'm just showing you I've already done it, so I'm not going to have it run as long because I'm not sure how much fuel's in both the jet skis after riding. But you want to make sure they're not completely empty. I know this one's pretty low, but let's get fired up. Alright, so I got the hose running. GoPro's running over there too. Alright, so I'm going to stir her up. It's loud. Yeah. The other thing you want to do too is pull the hose off before you start revving it. It says you should just rev it for less than 6 seconds at 5,000 RPM. You want to unhook the water before doing this because you don't want it to be still running when you're doing the rev up. So I'm going to unhook it. There's the water right down there. Hopefully it doesn't go off the dirt. Alright, rev it up, 5,000 RPM. Shut it off. Alright. And I got a hose of water just running. Unhook this. Take the one off of here. It's real fast. This was 972 machines. It's just like, bam, ready to go. All right, then we'll go up to the next machine. Stir her up. crazy. It's like, this one's pretty loud. When this was stock, you couldn't hear the exhaust at all. It's like, it was like in stealth mode. This is kind of loud, but not as loud as the other one. Rev it up. 6 seconds, 5,000 RPM. Shut her off. So that's pretty much it, what you got to do with that. Now what the next step I want to do is, I'm going to bring out my pressure washer. It's not that powerful a pressure washer, so before I start opening up everything and rinsing, we want to make sure all the salt water is off. So I'm going to rinse down both, and then I'm going to hand wash them afterwards. But first, we want to pressure wash them, open them. I got this stuff that's called salt off. I'm going to spray that in there, and then rinse inside the engine compartment, and then I'm going to do a hand wash, and I'm going to hand dry them. Now the thing that's you have to do with this jet ski is I'll have to unhook, take off all the seats and hook all this to take the cover off to get into this to rinse out the engine in here. And also too, it's a good thing because it's modified, is to take a peek in there too, just make sure everything's looking all right, everything's all hooked in there, to make sure the next time I go running I'm not going to have a mechanical issue because I wasn't keeping track of all this. A lot of people, they just depend on the dealer to be checking this stuff. You should be able to kind of not be an expert with this, but be able to open in there and keep an eye on what's going on, because that'll help of not having an issue down the road or where something breaks because you're keeping an eye on it. So if you see someone having a problem, if you can't fix it yourself, you bring it to the dealer. If you're not qualified to do stuff or you don't know what you're doing. So let's get it all going. All right, so here's my setup. My water cannon. It's from Chemical Guys. It's one of their typical car wash thing that's already filled up there. It's used, I wash on my Hellcat or on the jet skis. It's just like you spray on and you spray off, so it's not anything that's like it's safe chemicals to use on like the jet ski and whatnot. This is a portable pressure washer that I picked up at Home Depot. It wasn't that much money. It's not a strong one, which you don't need because I'm washing vehicles with it, but it's nice to have a pressure washer. It's really portable and kind of just, it doesn't take up a lot of space. All right, so you got the water cannon hooked up. Let's spray it. Good in there. There we go. Get a little bit of the trailer. You want to get? Clean up the ropes a little bit. right, now I got it all foamed up. I'll let it sit for just a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna rinse it. I like their product, and this isn't like a product placement. I've used over the times different products. I used to actually have a long time ago. This is probably, this would be like 2003, 2004. I had a detailing business, auto detailing business, and it was like right before I became a professional race car driver. So then I stopped doing that and was professionally racing. So I've kind of used all different kind of companies over all the years. Chemical Guys is a pretty nice product. They have all different stuff for any of your like automotive boat needs and whatnot. So we'll let that sit and we're gonna rinse it off. All right, time to get the soap off. That doesn't have to be perfect because I'm still gonna hand wash it, getting up off. So this all up. Sometimes I'll leave this. I don't know. Sometimes I miss like grind like that. That's where the pressure washer just doesn't do enough. I gotta watch my hand. That looks good. Now let's open up these covers up. All right, so I got the cover off now. Now it's time to, first I want to check everything out, and then I'm gonna spray the salt away in there, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then rinse it out. So here's the stuff. I've already sprayed it, so I'm gonna let it sit for five minutes, and then I'm gonna rinse it. But I'm not gonna rinse it with the pressure washer. I'm gonna just take the nozzle out the pressure washer and just, where it just has a, like kind of like a hose action. I'll be rinsing this out. Then off to the next one, take the cover off of this. This is real fast, not a lot of work like the other one was. That quick, popped it open. All right, now I'm gonna spray in there. You can kind of see where there's like salt in here. So this one gets the most salt. The RXT X does not. The RXP X gets a lot of salt because it has all these like vents all in there that all go into inside down there. So let me start spraying. All right, so I sprayed a little in there. I popped this back and sprayed a little bit in there. I'll rinse. I sprayed it all in there. Now let it sit for 5 minutes, and I'm gonna rinse this next. All right, so this just has a slight little water come out. And I'm just gonna, because there's a lot of salt, so you just kind of just rinse all up in there. And then you don't need to dry it, just let it air dry. Just kind of get all in there. All right, now I got this all rinsed out. I'm gonna put the cover back on. I got that all buttoned up. Now it's time to go to the other side and spray the other jet ski, get all the salt away out. First start inside. Get way in there. All that stuff. Go over here. All right, so I got that all buttoned up. Let me go get my, close this. I'll go get my bucket, and I'll get the stuff. I'm gonna hand wash these real quick before it gets dark. All right, so I got my chemical guy's bucket. It has this like vortex thing, or I don't know what they call it, but it hits all the dirt way at the bottom so it doesn't get dirt. And then I use their boat hybrid wash and wax. So this is designed for boats and watercraft, so it's not like stuff you could just go buy at the store or it's online. There's like a whole kit where you get a bunch of stuff. I don't use all of them unless it's like full detail, but this is like for a hand wash right here. So let me fill it up. You don't have to go crazy with filling it, just you know, a little bit. And then you just fill the bucket up. And you don't have to be crazy of like doing this. This isn't like a show car. All we're just doing is clean it up enough, and then I'm gonna be using these in a couple of days anyway, so they don't get a lot of downtime. But the main thing is you want them. I want my jet skis to look like they're new still. I don't want them to look like beat up. So you just come in there, get a good scrub down. Around all that. Then you want some kind of not as wet, so you get it back in there. And yeah, you just kind of move it a little bit faster because it's going to get dark and then you won't be able to see anything. So this is where I told you we're catching scraping at this one boat launch. I got some idea of what to do to make sure that doesn't happen again, but I'm going to probably buff that out. It's not the end of the world. Plus it's like battle scars. It could be a lot worse. See, good. See, I had a hip on the other side. So you just gotta get it kind of good. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just showing you guys basically what you should be doing on your jet skis. The harder thing would be is if you always had your jet ski on a lift. I mean, see how dirty that was, and how this just see how dirty, watch, look at it right there. Now look at it, you just wipe and it's gone. And the pressure washer wasn't getting it because I'm not using a really strong pressure washer on it, which you shouldn't. But just slightly coming in here with this is a lot to get a lot of stuff cleaned up. So you just fill up again, get good right up in like here. Wash around up here. Now the hard thing is to get it all around in here, you'd have to jump around. I'm wearing sandals right now, and I don't want to twist an ankle jumping all around, but I can reach down pretty good. Make sure the seat's real nice and clean. I want to make sure that stays nice. Now the hard thing there is, see, that's the hard thing to get a real good detail, is because it's tight to get in here. I know there's some areas that are a little bit more dirty right there. But it's harder to get into those. Sometimes it's easier when the trailers has one of the jet skis off, which that never happens. But that'd be like an end of the season thing. Like when I'm done for the season, I don't know how cold it gets down here. In the winter that I don't know how frequent I'm gonna ride, but if it gets it where it's like a month or two I'm not riding, I'm gonna really clean these up really good and then store them with the cover on. Seat real nice. You want to make sure that stays brand new in style. But like, you really got a lot of soap on it before when I pressure washed it. This just gets in the areas that really need you to be doing like a good, like this area. These are the areas where it's the most in the water, that, you know, no matter what kind of water you're on, fresh, salt water. See, I haven't done a good hand wash in a while. You can tell you do it pretty good, and it makes that thing look brand new again. Get up on here. There's a lot more detail areas on this jet ski. And it's kind of like a jungle gym of what to jump around. Bring up the numbers. Come up here, get a good scrubbing. But there's a lot of talk of people cracking the hulls on this, and you can tell on my machine I have no cracks. I jump it high, but I'm not like crazy. And from what I've seen from other people that jump really high, and I physically seen them jump real high, and they showed me they have cracked hulls on our RXT X 300. My opinion on that is people are jumping maybe too high ways, too shallow of areas, that they're not realizing it's bottoming out. I'm not really sure, but I ride mine hard. I don't got any cracks anywhere, so you know, they're not bulletproof. You can't ride them like an idiot. I think they're gonna look all nice and clean. I don't want a cracked hull, and that's why I'm careful of how high I jump, especially on the rear end, because these things are longer. Get it good up here, gauges. Get that seat on the other side. This black bottom swimming suit I wear makes the seat black from wearing it. I don't know why. I've washed the swimsuit a couple times, but it still does it. But I'll show you guys. So some of these other people if like had it where it's like cracked around here, well, that's obviously you're landing the whole rear end into the water first, and it's probably just not really made to do stuff like that. I mean, I know, for example, like on the Ford Raptors, there's people have bent frames on that, and Ford sells it as an off-roading truck, but I mean, the people that jump them so high, they bend the frames or bend them. It's just typical even with something like this. All right, so now I kind of got a decent hand wash on this. I'm gonna now spray it and I'm gonna hand dry them. And I'm pulling back in. Now the other thing you want to spray too is this XPS lubricant, anti-corrosive. Now you want to spray this on any type of bolt that's visibly that's going to get like salt water and stuff. Right now, because everything's dry and I'm not going to do it, but you know, you want to spray like here or any of those, like see all the hardware that's in there, bolts, nuts. You want to spray all that, you know, any of these. Same on the other one. This is a little harder to get around, but you know, you can see some stuff right in there. I'm not doing any of that right now because it's all wet. I'd rather wait till it's dry and then spray this. This is a big crucial thing to have. So, you know, when you keep an eye on stuff, especially as things are rusting, you want to be getting this before it rusts. I have 2 towels, one for each jet ski. They're dedicated just for drying the jet ski. I have detailing or drying towels for my cars and whatnot, from like my Jeep SRT or my Hellcat. But these ones are only specifically I use on the jet ski. I do not use them on the car, any of my cars. So like here, you don't need to really dry because that's the mat. You just go in the area and it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, enough to, if you know, you don't want to have water spots. If you want to dry your seat. I know Sea Doo says they have these out in the sun. Out here, it's really humid. That's also too why I filmed this kind of later in the day. It was like 100 degrees out today, and I wouldn't want to be in the middle of the day washing and drying something, be stuck in the sun. Plus too, when you, like if you've ever washed stuff, when you wash stuff when it's really hot out, sunny, it dries really fast, you got to move really fast, otherwise you get water spots and all that. So usually, like when I wash my Hellcat, I pull it back into the garage and then dry it, so then it's not being getting water spots and stuff. And you want to start like I'll do a whole video if you guys like this. I'll do a whole video to show you how you detail and do a wash, like on the Jeep SRT and on the Hellcat. I'll do all that in another video if you guys like it. I'm just going to use this on this side. It's getting kind of wet. I'll grab the other towel. Now you can dry this however much you want. Like I said, I got the dehumidifier and I got a fan. So I'm going to run the fan inside the RXT X because I can't open that cover back up to fully dry it out. Now make sure that everything I sprayed in there that's supposed to be air dried is air dried. So, now if you want to come back in here and a lot of standing water right there. Now if I was, this isn't like a full detail job. I got other like marine products from chemical guys that if I want to fine tweak and like really clean up an area, I would do that. This is just kind of like a basic wash after riding for 4 days straight. I don't do this daily when I go riding because this would be just a lot of work after riding to do this. If I was in the ocean, I would slightly rinse it off with like water to make sure all the salt water is off. That's why sometimes too, after riding in the ocean, when I'm heading back the waterway, that's why I do the donuts to get it all wet. That's what I do to make sure I get some of the salt water off the jet ski before bringing it in. Even though it's with the river water, it's still better than having salt water on it. So this is kind of pretty decently dry. Just got to get underneath here. See, this is black, so you don't really have to like go full out. This being bright yellow, you don't want it to look all grungy. So, but like, you clean this for a lot, and then I'm gonna go right back in the water, and it's like you're just kind of reversing, doing it all over again. But so if you want to make sure it looks nice all the time, that's what you gotta do. Put a little work in, it's not a big deal. But the yellow, it looks sharp, but it's a pain in the butt to keep clean. So you got some dirt in here. Now, this is this is a big thing too. So, see how there's like grime stuff in here? So I'm probably gonna do is like bring these inside, these towels, not fully wash them yet, and wait after running the dehumidifier, because see all the standing water in there? And I'll take these and I'll clean this real all good, because it's getting a little grungy in here. So I'll make sure I'll do that. I'll make sure that's looking all nice. I'll do it on the other side. When I'm not filming, I can actually climb up in there. It's gonna be really hard to balance. My legs are very tight to fit in there, and I don't want to hold the camera and trip. So I'm gonna go later in here to really fine detail that, but I can't do it filming. It's way too hard. Even if I had somebody filming, it'd be helping me. It'd still be hard. There's a little bit of water up in there still. Should I get that? All right, so let's pull these things in for the night. Alright, so before you get in your garage, you don't want to jack it up all the way because I'll bring all the water out. What you want to do is, like, when it's this height, it's easier to turn. So I'm going to try to steer it in the position where I want it to be. I already got the wheel stuff right there. Grab the other one. It's right here. Here we go. And I'll jack her up as high as she can go. This will bring most of the big heavy water out, not all of it, but a pretty big portion of it will start coming out. All right, that's as high as she goes. Let's move with the Jeep, and I'll open up everything, and we'll start kicking on the fans and all that kind of stuff. All right, so you want to open up the cover there. Got all this open, so I'm gonna get my fan to put in there so that it dries faster. All right, so I got everything opened up. Fan ready to turn on. I don't want to turn it on until the end of the video, otherwise it'll be too noisy. Got this opened up. Everything's in here. So this is about the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video of me kind of giving a step-by-step. I'm not a professional telling you what to do, but this is what I do. My machines work. They look super clean. They look like they're brand new. I ride them a lot, and this is the typical maintenance. Make sure, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also too, if you guys could hit the thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the next video. My existing subscribers, I greatly appreciate the love. Let's build this thing, the Beowulf Nation. I am Beowulf. This is the end of the video, and this is kind of what a step-by-step of what to do. I'll break down some other type of things too to do, but this is kind of it. It's the end of the video, end of the road for today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.